Hello friends, it's Becky. I'm back with another video, and all the way back in February this year I purchased this diamond art painting, and the company is Dotz. I bought it at Spotlight, which is a large fabric and craft store in Australia, and I thought I was going to get this done pretty quickly, within maybe a month or two. But we've ended up having an on and off again relationship this year, and so it is now October 2020, Halloween to be exact, and I, in all of my infinite wisdom, ended up doing at least half of it within the month of October, and probably about 2/3 of that within the last 3 days before I needed to post this video. So yay me, I'm a little bit tired at the moment, but here you can see I've started to unbox it. I actually remembered to unbox it on camera because I thought this would be quite handy for when I eventually showed this video. So here's me unwrapping it all. It's a big painting, I tell you, and you can see the lovely shiny plastic on top of it, keeping that skull protected. It's all covered in a sticky adhesive, and the black part around the edges is just plain fabric. So the diamond painting is the skull itself, and I was pointing out a few things here, like that really large one in the middle, which was quite exciting to do at the time. And yeah, everything was all rolled up and it was a pain to unroll, so there's some instructions on how to do it. And I decided to get into this. Here I am at real-time speed, putting the first few dots on. Man, I was so slow. I'd never done a diamond painting before, so I was still getting the hang of it. And basically what you do is you stick the end of that applicator into some wax, so then it's able to pick up the tiny little dots and stick them on. And yeah, you can see the little pot that also comes with it so that you can shake it. Those ridges then help the diamonds to sit upright so you can pick them up easily, but of course you can see half of them are upside down. Oh yes, this was fun, putting on the biggest dots. At the beginning here, I actually filmed this just handheld, so I'm holding my camera with one hand and doing the dots with the other. Of course, Trixie had to get involved. And yes, cats and sticky things is not a good idea, so I had to keep the plastic on for the whole time. Oh, you're so cute. But here we go, back to the diamond dotting. I only filmed segments at the beginning, so that's why you can see it jumping forward, and the most satisfying one of all was that big one. I was going to save it until last, but I figured the sticky would become unsticky during that time and maybe get cat hair on it, so I just basically went from the top and worked my way down the painting and did all the big ones as I went. Because the diamonds were all in bags and I knew they were going to get everywhere, I actually bought some mini containers and numbered them all so that they would be easy to pour out and shake back in once I was done with the colour. Of course I picked one which only had a very monochromatic palette, so all of them are from this lightest one here, which is a lovely shiny sparkly cream white colour, like a pearl colour, that's the word I want. And then there were various shades of grey. Some of them were sparkly and other ones were matte, and they actually work quite well together. I thought it was going to be kind of stupid having a mix of them, but it actually, I think, works better than having the whole thing sparkly, although really you can never have too much sparkly in my opinion. But yeah, as you can see, the pattern is different little symbols, so you've got pluses and dots and dashes. There's a Y, it could be a lambda, I'm not too sure. There was an alpha in there and a few other ones. It was quite hard to see them, as you can imagine. I know my mum says she uses a magnifying glass when she does this, but because I'm holding a camera, and you will see later when I start to time-lapse it properly, that it's really hard to hold a magnifying glass and film and not get my head in the way, so yes, it was interesting doing this. But after a while, I mean, it's very easy to do. It's very relaxing, except for the fact that I decided to try and cram it all in at the end. But if you're doing this just a bit at a time, it is extremely relaxing and I really enjoyed it. It's a very repetitive movement and quite hypnotic, as you can see from my rather wobbly footage here. I do apologise for the shaky handheldness. This was early on in my filming career and I had not thought of that, so yes, I made a few mistakes at the beginning. Those are the last of the big ones going on, but I think by the second half of this video, when I really got serious with it, you'll see that it's much more stable because I've actually put the camera in the bracket with the arm over the top of the diamond painting. But yeah, this is super sped up. It is a lot of little clips that I have stitched together as best as I can, but unfortunately I managed to still make it a bit wobbly, so I really hope you're not feeling seasick at the moment because it's a bit blur on the eyes. But I got quite a way before I gave up, and part of the reason why I stopped for a while is because we got Gandalf, and if you don't know, Gandalf is a Norwegian forest cat. He was a 3.5-month-old kitten when we first got him, and here he is right now. Hello! And as you can imagine, cats love to come over to sticky things, and you can see the plastic has been all bent because they keep walking on it. So I actually put it away for a while because it was just too difficult with a very boisterous kitten in the house. Okay, so this is where I picked it up again, and all of this was done since early October. I was actually out at my father's at this time. I took it with me because I figured that while I was caring for him, I would be able to have some downtime in order to do some of this diamond painting and focus on it entirely without worrying about the cats destroying it in the meantime. I've really sped this up, as you could tell. It's also filmed in time-lapse. And what I didn't notice until after is how that tray moves around every time I use the applicator to pick one up. It just kind of runs across the top of the diamonds, which I think is hilarious. Look at it go! But I did quite a lot at my father's, all of the eye sockets and some of the nose, and then you'll see a bit later where I switch again over to my final resting place for this, which was my filming desk at home. Right here is how much I had to do in 3 days when I got back to my studio. As you can see, I'm using a different applicator, and this is the one that I got for my birthday that my mum sent, and I was able to use this for 2 days before Gandalf got hold of it and hid it somewhere in the house. I cannot find it anywhere, so I had to go back to the old one. But this one was so much better to use because it's a bit wider and it was easier to hold, so I'm really glad I had it for a while. But yes, I'm going to have to find where Gandalf has stashed it because it's disappeared and I can't find it anywhere. I had a lot to do in 3 days. The reason it was such a short time is because I also had to film the paint by numbers, the birthday dragon, and the present opening one that I did, the art haul. So all of those had to come first in order to get everything done on time, and because I'd very foolishly given myself a deadline of Halloween, I basically only had 3 days of allocated filming time in order to get this done, because then I also needed time to be able to edit this video, do a voiceover, and put the music in. So yeah, I couldn't leave it till Friday. I had to finish it on Wednesday, and then I had Thursday and Friday to finish this, which I've thankfully managed to finish on Thursday. So I have Friday to have a break, and then this goes up on Saturday. But I also was racking my brain to think of something to do for Halloween. I was thinking, oh, you know, my video is due to be released on Halloween, so I need to do something horror themed. What the heck am I going to do? And I just drew a blank. There were ideas that I had, but none of them just really seemed to be that good. And then I remembered that I had the skull painting, and I just went, I've got to finish this for Halloween. That will be so awesome. So I really hope you're liking this. I know it's absolutely crazy, but it was a lot of fun to do, even though I'm completely exhausted. Diamonds. I have to admit the teeth were quite fun to do. You can really see them start to emerge. The design of the skull I think is really awesome. They did such a good job with making the shadows so that when the whole thing comes together you can really see the pattern of the shapes of the bones in the skull. I just thought that was really cool. So excellent pattern. I really like this kit. It wasn't cheap, but it was worth it. And I may have to get some more of these to do because this one was really fun. But not for a while, because I need to recover from the trauma of this one. Oh, I'm so stupid leaving it to the last minute. I used to do this with exams as well. Do you remember doing things like that, having to cram everything before a big exam? And also if you had assignments due, and I'd always leave them, you know, to the last few days, and it would be a huge panic. Apparently I still haven't learned my lesson on that one, and I guess I never will. The last few diamonds. I was so tired. Oh my goodness, I could barely get them on. The wax had gone all funny and it just wasn't sticking, and my hand-eye coordination was just totally out of the window right now, but I got them on. I was so proud to finish. Yay! Woo! So happy here. Yeah, metal horns. And here it is in all its glory. Ta-da! Just ignore those few that are laying on the side there. I totally didn't even see those. I was that tired. I ended up shaking quite a lot of loose ones off at the end, and they're all over the floor and I really need to vacuum them up. But yeah, I'm so proud of this. I can't believe I actually finished, and I think it looks amazing. I am really happy with it. I love it. It was such a fun one to do, and I think it's just so awesome for Halloween. So here's a Becky victory dance, and I wish you all a really happy Halloween this year. Spook you later. Bye.